Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. I think we can all agree that 2020 has been a crazy year, and I just stumbled across a game in the store that sort of reminds me of 2020. 60 Seconds was $10, and I was intrigued by the concept, so I picked it up. You can see there are several different game types to get into. I think they consider Apocalypse to be the normal game, and then there's a mode where you get random items. There's a challenge mode. But what we're going to take a look at here today is the tutorial. I'm going to skip over the beginning steps of the tutorial, and we'll just get right to the main event here, where an alarm is going off and we have 60 seconds to grab as many items as we can. We can grab our family members too if we choose to do so, but we have to throw things down in the bunker. I'm sad to say we cannot grab the guitar, but there's food, there's water, there are useful items like flashlights and a map and a suitcase. There's a gun on the wall, but whatever we can throw in the bunker in 60 seconds is what our family will have to survive. So we need to choose wisely. There was a board game right there for entertainment, but I am prioritizing food and water, and I'm just barely going to make it back. You have to get to this marked area before the alarm goes off, and we just barely made it, but now whatever is in the bunker is what our family will have to survive. So now we will jump into the bunker and get to the main part of the game. I guess maybe this would be considered a survival game, but here we are on day one. We have to make decisions based on our supplies and what our family needs. We've got a journal here. I'm not going to read all of this, but it basically just gives you your basic info. First things first, we need to ration food and water. The family doesn't need to eat and drink every day, but water is the most important thing. A normal person can only survive 4 days without water. The longer they go without food, the weaker they will get, and they might eventually get sick. So you have to ration your supplies wisely. Unfortunately, it appears that I did not grab enough water, really. But it looks like each person will drink 1/4 of a bottle of water and eat 1/4 of a can of soup every day. But now it's time to get some sleep. And we have reached day 2. It looks like Ted is growing a little stubble. Everybody else looks pretty normal. Timmy seems to be concentrating on something up there in the upper left-hand corner. I just noticed. I didn't notice that while I was playing this. But basically it's talking about how you will ration food and water every day, and sometimes you will have to send someone to the surface. Ted is doing well. Mary Jane seems fine. Dolores is in a good mood. And little Timmy is being very brave. I'm curious what he's looking at there in the upper left-hand corner, but I did not notice that while I was playing this tutorial, so unfortunately you will not find out. But we're going to give them some water, and then we are going to send somebody out looking for more supplies, and I think the father, Ted, is going to be the brave explorer. And we have reached day 3. This is a drill, this tutorial, so Ted will come back after a little while, but in an actual game, the person who goes out to explore might be gone for a couple of days. Mary Jane is fine, Dolores seems fine, Timmy is being very brave and still very curious about whatever that is in the upper left-hand corner. We're already running very low on water, but let's go ahead and give everybody in the bunker some food and some drink. This is a hypothetical situation, I guess, because I don't know if there was a pet hamster in the house, but this is saying that the kid's pet hamster made it into the bunker, and so it's asking if we want to cook and eat the hamster. And I chose to do it. We have reached day 4, and it says it was a good choice. Everyone had a bite, and fresh meat will not be easy to come by in the days ahead. Dolores is in a good mood. Timmy's okay. Mary Jane seems okay. Ted is still gone. We're about to run out of water. Let's skip the food for today. And now it says we can use an item to entertain ourselves, and the radio is the only thing we have that will do that, so we'll use the radio. The tutorial made me get the radio, so that's why it's in the bunker. I didn't grab it during that 60 seconds. But we've made it to day 5. Ted has returned. The radio is critical to establishing communications with the army, as well as for listening out for any trouble that might be headed your way. If you get lucky, maybe you'll catch some music too. The expedition is back. They found some supplies, but Ted has been injured and he is hungry. Everybody else seems okay. So we're going to give Ted some food and some water. He's injured, and I should be using the medikit on him, but I forgot to do it right here. We'll give everybody some food and water. You need at least one alive adult to keep going. If you send your only survivor to the surface, you won't know what's happening in your bunker. And when they come back, it's possible that your bunker could have been taken. But we have made it to day 6. We need to send someone outside to look for supplies again. Ted's stomach is rumbling. Everybody else at least seems okay. They're not complaining anyway. Let's feed Ted. And we'll give the last of our water to the children. And we also need to use the medikit on Ted. I forgot to do that before. So this is telling us that the person who goes exploring can take other items, and if you give them a suitcase, they can carry more stuff. So if I give him the suitcase, I'm going to leave the radio here, and there's one more can of soup. Or I'm going to leave the rest of the soup with the family. Send Ted out with the suitcase. Mary Jane's looking a little bit rough right there. Everybody else looks okay. This is basically explaining why everybody can't go outside. There's radiation. So I guess if you keep sending the same person outside over and over, maybe the radiation will get to them. I don't know. Everybody in the bunker seems okay, relatively speaking. We've got no water, but we'll go ahead and give them some food. The rescue is not coming today, but eventually a rescue team will arrive. And this is telling us that we need to wait until somebody knocks 2 times on the door. So don't open the door unless they knock twice. We have made it to day 8. Ted has returned. This is basically just repeating the idea that we have to be very careful about our supplies and making the most of each day. But Ted has safely returned, and he has found a few things at a hotel. He got another suitcase. He found a can of soup and a bottle of water. And he found a flashlight and an axe. But Ted's stomach is rumbling. Dolores is apparently becoming very thirsty. And the kids are fine so far. We've only got 1 bottle of water. We'll give everybody some water, even though Dolores is really the one that needs it the most. And we will feed everybody. Basically another message about supplies and being very careful with your supplies. And we have reached day 9. If I were you, I'd check the door. Our extraction team might be coming for you any day now. Ted is hungry. Everybody else seems okay. Let's feed Ted. And let everybody else skip food for the day. But there's a knock on the door. But it's 3 knocks, so we're not going to answer the door. And we have reached day 10. Not answering the door was a good call. Ted is hungry. Everybody else is fine. Ted is doing his best to keep his family alive, and so far, so good. But Ted is hungry, so let's feed Ted. Everybody else can go without food, I think, for the day. But now suddenly there are more knocks on the door, and they are knocking twice. So we will answer the door. And we have successfully survived the tutorial. So yeah, all this business about the bunker and rationing supplies reminded me of 2020. Hopefully 2021 will be a better year for all of us, and hopefully we've learned a few things and we can be more intelligent going forward. Because, let's face it, some people were not very intelligent during 2020. But enough about that. Happy and safe holidays to everyone, and as always, thanks very much for watching.